Bailey in the house, man. Ready for some Heart of the Swarm action.
Woo!
Woo! That's right. Get out the
This is like
streamers.
my first HotS tournament I've casted,
Well,
like ever, dude.
let's get it started right with the introduction. Spawning on the bottom right. Oh, I'm sorry. Which one is my observer looking at? Spawning at the top left. I'm sorry. Wait, which one are you? I'm sorry. Okay. We're at the bottom right. We are at the bottom right with our pink Protoss Ranchinator.
Woo! Reginator!
Oh, his fans have shown up at the studio here, screaming in my ear. Please tell security to take them away. Throw
Fans
them
are
on the
not
streets.
allowed
In
ever.
the casting booth. No.
Yes, this booth, also known as my room.
Yes.
And then spawning in the top left as the red Terran, we have Monkey.
Monkey.
Now Monkey, that's I
Is he
didn't
full
know
monkey?
Animals. Yeah,
Is he
I didn't
full
know-
monkey or is he half man, half monkey? Or just fully not evolved yet?
Depends on what kind of a scientist you talk to.
I'm pretty sure most scientists believe in evolution, but this is another story for a whole nother controversial time. All right.
Well,
What?
so Bailey,
Yes,
you play Protoss.
I do.
Have you been playing HotS a lot?
I have. Unfortunately, I have not played a whole lot of Terrans. I've been getting PvPs and PvZs a lot. And I think the one time that I did get a Terran opponent, they went for this kind of like, oh look, I can make Hellions and Spider Mines or Widow Mines, and then I just kind of made Colossus and observers, and it wasn't a pretty thing for the Terran player, but other than that, haven't had a whole lot of practice with the Terrans and the new things that they can do.
I mean, you know, fire is really good against tall, spindly creatures that can fire laser beams.
Oh man, and if with the medevac boost now, I mean they boost into your mineral line, drop a couple transformed Hellions. I guess they're, what are they called, fire bats or something?
Fire.
Hellbats or something.
Hellbats. Yeah,
Hellbats?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's correct.
That's it. It's a hellbat.
It's a Hellbat. So they speed into your mineral line, drop Hellbats, and if you don't run your workers away, you basically just lose a giant chunk of them. If you don't run them away as soon as you see that medevac coming in. But it's so fast now. That's going to be like a lot more effective. It's still effective and useful now. It's just like now that the game has been played out and everything is kind of understand like when they have the ability to drop and when they can, so you have the stalkers in position, things like that. But
Right.
now that they can just speed past like your stalkers, like, oh, I have 3 stalkers in preparation for the drop, but they just fly over the stalkers.
It's like,
But
I thought I was ready, man.
Oh no, I think it's going to be scouted too. This proxy robo from Ranchinator is scouted and seen by this SCV from Monkey.
Indeed, that just kind of almost ruins Ranchinator's plan right there.
It's very it's very bad for him, because if you lose this, you have to try and maybe make a robo at home and start over in that time. Oh, and he's just gonna bunker up and make a bunker red next to it, just in case he has any units nearby to come and try and defend this.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be
There's
having
a
one stalker come in, and he's going to try to be fancy and die.
Oh, getting surrounded by the Marines, and now the Marines are running into trying to save themselves, get into the bunker. Oh, the Zealot's doing very good damage now.
That
Oh.
stalker could take those Marines, but now they're in a bunker.
And the bunker does finish, and the Marines are safe. The SCV's just gonna hang out here. He does still have a bunker at home, so he is pretty safe against this one stalker, which might try to do just a run by. But no, instead a little bit of...
And
Oh,
there's a
trying to
mothership
save
core
something.
actually getting into the battle here. That mothership core, it's like, I don't want to lose everything.
Alright, he gets this Immortal out and warps in a Stalker at the same time. Stalker actually taking most of the damage right there. But he's going to be able to take out this one bunker. And driving it back, and maybe he's... I don't know if he's Still gonna push right here. I guess at this point he kind of has no choice but to push. He's got 3 gateways at home and constantly producing immortals out of this proxy robo.
Now, I am actually very impressed that he managed to keep that robo alive. Generally, like, I mean, it's like there was a bunker by it and everything, and like all the Marines, like that's actually really impressive that he managed to keep that alive. And that means he's actually still in this game.
Yeah, it was a great idea for Monkey to put a bunker right next to the observer, right next to the robo bay, just in case that there was any kind of units to come trying to defend anything attacking it, which did happen. And with the good control pulling the Marines away and everything, yeah, he kind of lost a stalker in that, kind of just trying to scout out what was going on, seeing if he had a bunker at the front of the base and everything. But it was able to save it and get an immortal out in time. And now he's kind of got this pressure going, and he has a probe over here ready to take a nexus, and there it goes down. So he's just gonna keep this contained. I would consider this, well, let's see, kind of a hard contain at this point because he's just now starting his factory. So medevacs are quite a ways away. So there's no way for him to actually get out of his base at this point, other than that one ramp.
Yep, and as a matter of fact, he did build that command center in his base early, expecting to be able to expand and be able to take that safely, but that command center is actually sitting there pretty much useless in his base right now. I mean, it can produce more SCVs and it can drop mules, but it's not getting any mining time.
Alright, and it looks like Ranchinator, our pink Protoss, has pulled back, deciding that this has done enough damage, and he's gonna just force field the ramp and also drop in the back with this War Prism. With these 2 immortals in the back of Terran's base. Actually kills the SCV building the factory, and now it's gonna have to run away. Oh, no, don't forget the immortal. No, save it. No. Oh, almost saved it. Oh. It gets to the point where you have to decide, like, is the immortal worth, losing the potential losing the War Prism and the other immortal, But it had already taken so much damage. I would have just, left it behind. Like, oops, okay, it's dead. But it's totally fun to try and go back for it.
You're horrible to your immortals.
I'm sorry. If they get left and there's nothing that I can do for them, they made their choice.
They've already died once. It's not like you're just making them die again, dude.
Well, they'll be more prepared for the next time when they die. They've done it once already. I guess that's, more than you can say for most people.
Like, learn your lesson.
He knows exactly when he's dead. He's seen it before.
Yeah, that's and that War Prism did try and come in again, but it almost actually got shot down. That one immortal inside's like, don't explode.
Please don't get us killed, you crazy pilot person. Which looks like a bunch of cubes and blocks, so I wouldn't trust my life to the pilot.
No, the pilot definitely isn't trustworthy. And it looks like the proxy robo is finally going to go down.
He did pick it up finally, yes.
Yeah, Ranchinator did go ahead and he built a second robotics facility in his base. So, like, he was expecting to lose that. But the Immortal is coming back in, and it's actually dropped in the natural, trying to take out one of the bunkers, and it's almost... The bunker does get salvaged, actually. So, very minimal losses on Monkey's part right there. Very nice awareness.
The star sense. And I like that he's getting Colossus at this point and range all at the same time. This War Prism is now stuck, trapped in the corner. So sorry, Mr. War Prism. You're gonna have to stay here forever.
Yeah.
Actually, I had an Overlord. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
He does keep all those Marines and Marauders nearby that Warp Prism by doing it, though, so that actually... Right. It's pulling a lot of presence off of the map for Monkey. So
yeah, if he was able to do any kind of attack soon, it would be more effective. I totally agree. He sees those units, he knows exactly where they are, and with these 2 Colossus, with the 2 Colossus that I'll have here pretty soon, he could do a pretty devastating attack. But he is starting his Viking production now. Now that he has scanned, no.
Yeah, he did scan.
Oh, yeah, but he did not see the robo. He did not see the, But yeah, I guess he can... Okay, well, he did see a Colossus, so yeah. That does explain everything. If you see the Colossus, there's most likely a robo at somewhere.
Unless it's the campaign. Then they just come out of the water.
Right. I want to play the campaign now just to see that.
You wait, you never played the campaign?
I have played a little bit of it, and then I played like some train. He did see that drop. I think he's gonna pull back to try and catch that drop.
Yeah. There are
There's actually
it is
2 drops.
2 medevacs full of units actually coming in here. They're going to try and get in here and pick off maybe some probes, maybe some buildings. They're using their emergency after thruster burners.
Afterburners. Is that what they're called?
They've changed their names so many times.
Ignite afterburners.
Yeah, the
So it is
Ignite
their
emergency afterburners.
It is their afterburners. Okay, unfortunately the Colossus cannot shoot air. No, and then afterburners. And see they drop. They're able to drop everything just kind of... Whoa, that's cool. Look at the medevac bounce. It is bouncing.
And it looks like they're going to get almost all the probes in Ranchinator's main... Actually, they're just going to run towards a gateway and then not...
There we go.
And they're just going to get eaten up by these Colossus.
And that drop is finally dealt with. But it did do a significant amount of damage to the probes.
Yeah, it looks like 14 workers were lost in that push in Ranchinator's main. So he's going to be working on rebuilding that, while it looks like he might be actually going to try and do a counter push. We have a factory slowly floating its way across the map to try and get a scout on what's going on eventually at some point.
This counter push is a really good idea, especially right now. He does have 3 bunkers up, and attacking up a choke is always a scary thing to do. There's a lot of zealots in this army, 3 Colossus, plus with the mothership there to time warp. But it's still deciding to not attack. He's going to go into the middle, and he's just being very indecisive at this moment. I'm not sure what he wants to do. He's already checked and made sure there's not a third, and I guess now he's decided to take a third and just expand and make it more of a macro game than trying to actually kill his opponent at this point.
Yep, and he is pulling his army all the way back to his base. He's going to camp out, it looks, at his ramp still. Another Colossus joining with the army to fill it up to 4. While the factory does get a scout out on Ranchinator's 3rd. So Monkey is aware now that Ranchinator isn't really being aggressive. He knows something should be up, but he's actually just staying really passive right now.
Alright, and it looks like Monkey's just gonna go clear his 3rd. Does he have a command? This command center is just finishing up now, and he's gonna pressure while taking a base. Very good strategy, and most commonly used by everyone. So it's a legit strategy right there.
Pressuring?
Yeah, while taking a base behind the pressure.
Yeah, it's a very good strategy. It will keep that base safe. Well, actually, we have the Vikings leading the army right now, and it looks like they're going to be able to pick off a Colossus without taking
that is
one
always
Colossus down.
So annoying as a Protoss player when they're so obnoxious, these little Vikings. They just start picking off all of your Colossus, and your entire army standing there, unable to do anything about it. Because if they move forward and try to pick them off, stim Marines and Marauders. But it's totally okay.
Yeah, and it looks like Monkey's going to be pulling back to the watchtower now. Neither of these players being very aggressive, neither of them wanting to push up into the base and risk losing their army. Both of them content, it looks like, to actually hang back, keep themselves safe, and go up on macro games.
Yeah, because that's where it can get really scary, is if you think you know you have it, you have the game in your clutches, and you attack up some well-defended ramp with the army split, and you have Colossus Splash and everything coming down on you, and then all of a sudden they have a supply lead and they counterattack, and you just can't hold it off. So, and you just want to avoid that most of the time. Most of the time, that's never a good idea to attack up a ramp that's well defended. More pro tips.
More pro tips from Bailey.
From Bailey.
Yep, and it looks like something's going to be going down there. Yeah, for some reason the beta is actually acting up and I cannot click on things.
Oh no.
So.
Part of the swarm. How could you do this to me? But he has switched it into High Templar, and which is always a good thing once your Terran opponent has made about, let's see, how many does he have now? He has 9 Vikings. 8 is I believe the correct number to have. just enough to like one-shot a Colossus, and not too much of a waste of supply if they do happen to switch into High Templar or something. You don't want to overmake. You don't want to have 14 Vikings to shoot down 2 Colossus, you know.
Right. And actually, my suspicions are confirmed now. Monkey is making 2 command centers in his third. So it looks like he's actually going to be trying to double expand while he had map control, but then Ranchinator's army is just going to come in and it's going to take map control right from him. So these command centers actually probably won't be able to get put into place anytime soon.
Both players playing really well, though. I mean, with all the tech switching and everything, they're keeping up with each other. And Monkey is already has Ghosts out in the field, seeing the High Templars. Ghosts are out on the field, and he's prepared for this.
Yeah,
and sorry, go ahead.
It looks like the armies are going to be coming into the center. It looks like actually Monkey's going to be pulling back. Very nice EMPs going down, taking out all the shields.
All the storms are still left. Those storms coming down on the entire army. Oh no.
No, all that army. And Monkey's going to be forced to pull back, try and get back to his base. And it looks like Ranchinator is going to be pursuing him for at least a while. And actually, this does not look very good for Monkey, but Ranchinator needs to not try and push up the ramp.
More Ghosts coming in here, getting rid of the remaining storms. 1 left, I believe. Only 1 storm left, and it's going to go right there onto that pack of Marauders. All of these High Templars turned into Archons. The Vikings landing, and these Archons should be actually enough to repel most of these Terran forces just rallied in here. No pylon in sight, so these Archons are all alone by themselves. They're gonna have to turn home and run now.
Yeah,
Poor Archons.
If those Archons had been able to get some reinforcements, if there had been a forward pylon up there, that could have gone very differently. But Monkey was able to push him back, actually not even taking any damage inside his bases. About even as far as supply trading goes with that fight as well.
In that first engagement, Monkey decided, instead of trying to get EMPs on to the High Templar, he EMP'd most of the Zealots and Stalkers and everything like that, which is a good decision if you do that, if you get rid of the storms first, if all the storms are gone. But the storms are all still left, so storms went down on most of his entire army. He had to run back, and there were still storms left after that. And then those 2 flanking Ghosts came in and were able to get EMPs on most of the High Templar, rendering them pretty much useless. So then he had to turn them all into Archons, and no proxy pylon near. So he had to pull back. If he would have had a Warp Prism or a proxy pylon somewhere, that could have gotten a lot scarier and possibly ended the game at that point.
Indeed. Now, we do see both players actually going up successfully on a 4th now. Neither of them, it looks like, trying to give any map pressure. We have the factory, Monkey's factory, again flowing across the map, trying to get some more information. How do you feel about the factory scout? Just curious.
I love the factory scout. I mean, as a Protoss, I hate it, but as a commentator or somebody who likes this game, I see the use of it. If you're going pure bio and you make one and then make a starport, you don't have a use for it at all. It's just sitting there doing nothing. So it's flying it around to see absolutely everything. Like, I have scans. I can scan your army, I can scan your bases, but I also have this flying factory with a lot of HP that I can just float through your whole main or something, and or even just poke it around the front to see where your army is. And if you try to get like too overzealous with trying to take it out, I can stem up and pick off the units that are trying to mess with my factory. It's a great strategy that a lot of Terrans implicate now.
Yeah,
I like the idea behind it.
Indeed, and it looks like we're going to actually have a double drop coming in here from Ranchinator, one approaching from the north and one approaching from the west.
It's beautiful. Both of the afterburners have been engaged, and now one dropping into the natural, and another one over here at the 4th base.
Probes are just falling, and Ranchinator's not reacting. His army finally moves into position, but Monkey's going to be able to just lift up and get out of there, especially with the emergency thrusters. Actually, wow.
Both drops alive and well, and every single unit still alive.
Man, those emergency thrusters are really good.
I am terrified of of any Terran player who happens to know how to use medevacs once I get back into the heart of the swarm, because it's going to be scary. No amount of cannons is going to stop you from speeding over them. Oh, and right as the army moves out, see, like he saw it with the factory. He saw the whole army move out with the factory, and then drops again, forcing him to warp in this round of zealots over here in his fourth base. And he could also pick up right now. These zealots can't do anything against the medevac. Also, a drop happening at the natural, just kind of distracting him from this. Oh, this main engagement is going to be pretty intense, though. It's actually going right now. All these ghosts trying to EMP everything.
And we see lots of EMPs going down. The Archons now at half shield, but storms going down all over. Oh my gosh, that bio just getting decimated.
8 High Templar, all with storms, and that's how many storms you can have with 8 High Templar. And I think he might decide to land the Vikings right here and pick off these High Templar. No, he's going to go for the Colossus. That's a decision.
Storms going down on the Vikings actually being effective as more Archons are warping in, and this is not looking good for Monkey.
And see, Archons really are, more kind of like the Ultralists, more of like a support unit. If they have things with them like Zealots and Stalkers, they're a lot more effective. But just by themselves, they get kind of owned by Marauders and Marines.
Yeah, these Zealots coming in just a little bit late.
Giant wave of Zealots. Still, this is not. Monkey is not able to stop, and they were gonna get into the main production line. So, Monkey is forced to tap out. That is
and the game